Have you heard about the recent chilling case in New York City? A serial killer, motivated by racism, has been caught. This shocking story reveals how law enforcement tracked him down. Join us as we dive into the details. In the past few months, a series of gruesome murders occurred. Victims, often targeted based on their race, created fear in the community. Families lived in dread as the police struggled to find leads. It became clear that this was more than random violence, it was a calculated attack. Understanding the problem is crucial. Racism can fuel hate. This case shed light on how deep these issues run in society. The FBI, along with local police, stepped in swiftly to address this. Step 1 involved gathering evidence from crime scenes. Investigators meticulously collected forensic data. Every detail mattered, from DNA traces to fingerprints. Step 2 included analyzing patterns in the attacks. Recognizing racial targeting helped them narrow down suspects. Step 3 was establishing a profile for the suspect. The FBI examined every murder's location and victim choice. It became apparent that the killer operated mostly at night. They created a timeline based on the attacks. This meticulous work led to a breakthrough. An important moment came when a witness provided a crucial tip. This information directed investigators to a potential suspect. They quickly gathered intelligence and evidence against him. With this data, the FBI was able to apprehend him. Imagine the relief of the community. Families could finally breathe easier. Knowing that the killer was behind bars helped restore a sense of safety. This case emphasizes the importance of community vigilance. To summarize, understanding this case was vital. Law enforcement's meticulous approach led to success. Collecting evidence, analyzing patterns, and following leads were key steps. In the end, community involvement made a difference. Stay informed about these issues. Rally against hate in your community. Awareness is the first step toward change. Subscribe for updates on criminal justice stories. Your engagement matters in making a safer world. In a series of tense community meetings, residents gathered to discuss their safety. The atmosphere was charged with emotion as people shared their experiences of fear and anxiety. Community leaders urged everyone to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activities, emphasizing the importance of unity in the face of such darkness. As the discussions continued, a young mother stood up, her voice trembling yet resolute. "We can't allow fear to consume us," she declared, determination shining in her eyes. "We owe it to our children to fight back against this hate." Her words resonated, igniting a sense of collective strength among those present, reinforcing their resolve to work together for their safety and future. As the meeting drew to a close, a sense of solidarity lingered in the air, strengthening their resolve. They decided to form a neighborhood watch group, a united front against the violence plaguing their streets. Flyers were distributed, encouraging residents to participate and share any information they had. Ideas flowed freely about community workshops focusing on awareness and prevention, aiming to educate everyone on how to recognize signs of hate-fueled acts. The commitment to foster resilience was evident, as a diverse group of neighbors took ownership of their safety, vowing to not let fear dictate their lives any longer. As these plans took shape, the community's transformation began to unfold. Neighbors who barely knew each other prior to this crisis forged connections, exchanging phone numbers and organizing regular gatherings. The commitment to unity blossomed further as they coordinated communication channels, utilizing social media platforms to share updates and mobilize responses quickly. Parents organized playdates in shared spaces, ensuring that their children could play freely while remaining watchful. In the midst of distress, a newfound sense of belonging emerged. They were not just individuals but a collective force against hatred. As the newly formed Neighborhood Watch gained momentum, they organized their first community event, inviting residents to come together for an evening of shared stories and safety strategies. Brightly colored banners adorned the park, signaling hope amid troubling times. Everyone was welcome, young and old, to create a unified front against the darkness that had overshadowed their neighborhood. Local law enforcement representatives joined them, offering tips on awareness and safety, keen to strengthen the bond with the community they served. As night fell, the warmth of camaraderie enveloped the crowd, shining brightly against any lingering fears. Conversations flourished, uplifting spirits as laughter filled the air, signifying a reclaiming of their streets. As the evening progressed, a local artist unveiled a mural dedicated to the victims, honoring their memory. The vibrant colors portrayed unity and resilience, with powerful symbols of hope intertwined throughout the artwork. Community members stood in silence, moved by the poignant reminder that love and togetherness could triumph over hatred. This case highlighted the strength found in unity and resilience, proving that when communities come together against hate, they can reclaim their safety. The journey toward healing and vigilance is an ongoing one, but with collective efforts, brighter days lie ahead, fostering hope for a future devoid of terror and prejudice. As the community continued to embrace its newfound strength, they implemented regular meetings to ensure ongoing dialogue and support for one another. Residents discussed not only safety concerns but also celebrated small victories, from enhanced cooperation with local law enforcement to instances of neighborly kindness that restored their faith in humanity. The momentum kept growing, with each meeting drawing more participants, each eager to contribute their insights and experiences. In one particularly powerful gathering, a local pastor stood to share his thoughts, his voice steady yet filled with passion. "Together, we can illuminate the shadows of fear with our unity," he proclaimed, inspiring nods and murmurs of agreement from the crowd. He spoke of the importance of compassion and understanding, urging the community to extend their arms wider, not just to protect themselves but to embrace those in need. As he continued, he highlighted examples of how open dialogues could dismantle preconceived notions and pave the way for healing. As the pastor's words resonated in the hearts of those present, an elderly woman rose from her seat, her demeanor calm yet determined. "We have to remember," she said, "that love is the antidote to hatred. We must show those around us that we are more than just a response to fear, we are a community that thrives on mutual respect." Her voice quivered with emotion, but the message was clear. The room filled with applause, and others began to share personal stories of kindness they had witnessed amidst the chaos, planting seeds of hope within the gathering. Ideas of outreach programs surfaced, aiming to deliver food and support to vulnerable families, reinforcing their commitment to lift each other during these dark times. Amidst the discussions, a young teacher took the floor, her enthusiasm palpable. "Let us not only be a watchful community, but also an educational one," she urged, her voice rising with excitement. "We can create programs in our schools to teach children about diversity and acceptance, nurturing a generation that understands the strength of differences." Her proposition sparked a wave of nods and murmurs of agreement, igniting conversations on how to incorporate lessons of inclusivity into their local curriculum. A local artist chimed in, offering to work with students on murals that celebrate their diverse heritage, transforming schools into spaces of unity rather than division. Plans solidified as families rallied behind her vision, enhancing their mission to combat hatred through education and creativity. With each idea shared, the community fortified its resolve, prepared to reshape their narrative into one of love and understanding for all. They were determined to show that, in unity, they could build a brighter future free from fear and prejudice. As the community's efforts continued to expand, it became evident that they were not only fostering safety but also creating a deeper sense of belonging. Organizing weekend workshops focused on emotional well-being flourished, with mental health professionals volunteering their time to guide discussions on coping with trauma and restoring hope. Children gathered in safe spaces, engaging in art therapy, while adults took part in sharing circles, allowing their voices to be heard and validated amidst the echo of their collective experience. During one session, a local chef decided to utilize his culinary skills for good, proposing a community cook-off to celebrate cultural diversity through food. Excitement ignited as families enthusiastically began to share recipes representing their backgrounds, preparing to come together for an event that would spotlight their rich tapestry of heritage and resilience. The day of the cook-off arrived, and the air was filled with tantalizing aromas wafting from various stalls set up in the community park. Colorful flags and decorations created a festive atmosphere, drawing families and individuals eager to partake in the celebration of diversity. As pots bubbled and grills sizzled, laughter and chatter mingled, unifying the crowd in shared anticipation for the culinary delights that awaited them. One by one, dishes reflecting the rich cultures of the participants were presented, each accompanied by heartfelt stories about their significance. Children dashed around, delighting in the activities set up for them, while adults exchanged recipes and cooking tips, deepening their connections through a shared love of food. A local musician set the tone with lively tunes, further enhancing the joyous ambience as people danced and sang, momentarily forgetting the darkness that had previously loomed over them. As the sun began to set, illuminating the park in a warm golden light, community leaders gathered to thank everyone for their participation. "Today, we stand not just as neighbors, but as family," one of them announced, the cheers and applause echoing in agreement. "Let this gathering remind us that we are stronger together, that love and understanding are the spices of life that can combat any bitterness." And as the evening progressed, it became clear that this cook-off was more than just a celebration of culinary skills. It represented a significant step in their journey towards healing, serving as a powerful testament to resilience and unity against hate. With a newfound commitment to embrace their differences and celebrate their shared humanity, the community took another stride forward, united and hopeful for the future ahead. As the community left the cook-off, laughter echoed in the air, mingling with the twilight breeze that swept across the park. Families walked home with smiles, clutching homemade dishes, their hearts buoyed by the connection forged through shared experiences. Children, exhausted yet energized, recounted their favorite moments, while adults began to discuss plans for future gatherings, suggesting book clubs, cultural exchanges, and outreach to further extend their network of understanding. The bonds formed at this event went beyond fleeting joy, they signified a crucial commitment to uphold the community's spirit against any resurfacing darkness. With every conversation and plan, they laid the groundwork for a sustained movement toward love and acceptance, validating that together, they were more than survivors of fear, they were champions of hope and resilience. The town was indeed healing, steadily transforming into a beacon of light, a model for others facing similar challenges. As the community prepared for their next event, the energy was palpable, individuals were eager to make their voices heard and contribute further to their mission of unity. Organizers brainstormed additional activities, focusing on building relationships and addressing lingering fears. A local historian proposed a series of workshops to educate residents about their shared heritage, emphasizing the strength that lies in acknowledging the past. "Let's not just celebrate our differences," he urged, "but teach our children how history shapes our future. Understanding one another's backgrounds will create empathy and connection." His suggestion resonated, sparking discussions on integrating these important lessons into their schools and community centers. Everyone recognized that true healing required not only action, but also a commitment to understanding and embracing each other's narratives. As their journey unfolded, the community stood empowered, embracing the notion that every action counted towards healing and solidarity. With unwavering resolve, they looked ahead, knowing that their collective efforts would pave the way for a future characterized by understanding, acceptance, and unwavering love. Together, they illustrated that hope can triumph over hatred, forming a strong foundation